discuss about protocol and HTML. So let's begin our today's topic, protocols. So we start with a general term. What is protocol? As we all know that in our world, people speak different types of languages like French, German, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, English, Hindi, etc. So we would never been able to communicate worldwide if there were no standards governing the way we communicate, and there will be a condition of chaos if we will not if we will communicate with the different types of languages. So we need a standard to avoid such conditions. So these standards are nothing but set of rule which are followed by everyone. So because of that thing, English is a international language, and all the countries they have to follow this English as a standard language. So same thing happens with the machines also for processing data. So different type of machine, there should be some standard, and that standard is known as the protocol, which determines how the data should be transferred over the network, compressed, presented on the screen, and so on. So these set of rules are called protocols. So protocols are nothing but set of rules that are specific rules which determine the how the data should be transferred over the network, compressed, presented on the screen. Okay, so the basic need for protocol is to standardize the process and ways of communication over a computer network. Most commonly used protocols are examples given here: HTTP/HTTPS, that is hypertext transfer protocol, and hypertext transfer protocol secure. This protocol is used for in the interaction with the applications. Whenever we are typing URL, this protocol will work, and it sends other things from one device, client device, to the server. Next protocol is TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol, and IP stands for Internet Protocol. This protocol helps in communication, and it is the basis of the internet. And next protocol is SMTP and POP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and POP stands for Post Office Protocol. These two protocols are used in emails. Okay, next topic is we will discuss about the TCP/IP in detail. TCP/IP protocol. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and IP stands for IP protocol. It is a set of family of protocols defining conventions for communication between computers over the internet, and it is a basic communication protocol of the internet. Let's take an example to understand this TCP/IP. For example, if you have to send a gift from you to your friend, so what process you will do is, first you will take the gift, and then you will wrap the gift in a particular paper, and then you will write the sender address and the recipient address on the particular box, and then you will paste the post stamps, etc., and then deposit this box into the post office. So what we have done is the process where we are just packing the information. Same way we are packing the gift, so it is similar to the sending a information. So what we have sended is the information, you can consider like that. And at the post office, the postmaster will send that particular package to the corresponding address. Okay, so it will go to that particular next post office, and similarly it will transfer from one post office to another post office, and at the receiver side, that particular post office, it is again checked, and then it is sent to that particular local address, and the recipient will again do the same process of deassembling the particular gift. He will see that gift, and then he will unwrap the gift. Okay, so same example, just consider it for understanding this TCP/IP protocol. TCP/IP protocol is a two-layer program. The higher layer, TCP, manages the breakdown and assembling of the data, whereas the lower layer, IP layer, is responsible for the accurate delivery of the data over the internet. So what TCP is doing, it is just doing the packing thing, and what IP is doing, it is just providing that particular address. Okay, so how this TCP/IP work, we will see here. Working of TCP/IP: the information that we have sent through the internet is broken into packets. That is, we can't send the information in one go, so we divide it into small pieces that are known as packets, and then using a technique that is packet switching. Packet switching means packet transferring. It is a digital networking communication method which breaks the large data into suitable size blocks, and those blocks are known as packets. So what we do is we are just dividing the information into small packets or small pieces. Okay, so the IP is responsible for sending these packets to the right address by assigning them a sequence number. So after dividing the information into packets, then a sequence number is assigned to each packet, and that sequencing assignment is done by the IP protocol. Okay, the packets are then sent to the local internet service provider, and from there the packets travel through the multiple level of networking computers and communication line before they reach the destination. And the destination may be your town or anywhere across the globe, where the information packet reach the destination computer, and the TCP with the help of packet switching again assembles the packets into a single message. And it is not always that packets are the way we are sending the packets, it is received in that manner. It can be received in random manner, but after receiving all the packets, the information is rearranged by this TCP IP protocol, and then the receiver will receive that particular message and in the proper form. So that is the working of TCP IP. In simple terms, we can say the way we are wrapping a gift, same way we are just breaking the information into small pieces, and then we are assigning a label of address to that particular IP or that particular packets, and then we will send it to the ISP, internet service provider, as we are sending the gift to the post office. Okay, and then post office will search the recipient address, and then similarly here also TCP is doing the process of transmission, and IP is just taking the address where we have to deliver that particular information. Is it clear? Okay. Next topic is HTTP and HTTPS protocol. So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is the set of rules for transferring hypertext documents on World Wide Web. अब hypertext may include text, graphic, image, sound, videos, etc. This hypertext refers to a special format of text that contains links of the other text, just the way we find links on a web page which leads to the other web page. To create such pages, hypertext files are created, and these hypertext transfer protocol is an access method, or you can say a method to access web page used on internet. It is primarily access method for interacting with internet. The HTTP generally works on the combination with www, and this HTTP is the basic protocol that is used on World Wide Web. This HTTP is responsible for accessing all the hypertext documents on the World Wide Web. Since World Wide Web is a system governing the use of multimedia files on the net, and hypertext files support multimedia, the HTTP generally works in combination of www. So always whenever we are typing an URL, you can see there that it should be like that: http://www. For example, w3schools.com. So the URL, complete URL, you will find the HTTP and the www also with the domain name. Okay, next is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, that is HTTPS. It is an enhanced version of HTTP that works with SSL, that is Secure Socket Layer Certification, and this SSL take care of ensuring that the data goes securely over the internet. The main difference is about the security. In HTTP, the connection link is unsecure, and in HTTPS the connection link is secure. And this HTTPS is generally used in bank's website or secure transaction, that you will find on the URL that HTTPS will be written, and you will find a padlock symbol. Generally it is used in banking websites or more secure websites Okay, so let's talk about this HTTPS more. That HTTPS protocol ensures the security of text or information being transferred over www. With the regular HTTPS protocol, the text and information being transferred flows from server to browser directly without any encryption. Encryption means coding, which means it can be easily stolen. You can understand encryption as this: the actual information is converted into some code. Code means secure code. Okay, code words using a specific type of technology that is called SSL, that is secure socket layer certificate. And this SSL, secure socket layer certificate, helps to create a secure and encrypted connection between the server and the browser. This ensures that the information is encryption and connection is safe, so that the hackers cannot steal your crucial information or sensitive information such as login ID or password or payments, etc. So this is all about HTTPS. Now we are taking an example that will explain you about the working and transactions that is take place with the help of HTTP. So see here, in the first step, for example, we open a connection to the Gmail server by typing the URL of Gmail. This URL actually sends an HTTP command to the web server, directing it to fetch and transmit the requested web page. In the second step, when we enter our credentials, that is login and username and password. Okay, when we click on login, request is sent on the server stating that the type of transaction and the data. The transaction type is login and the data requested is your email account. In the third stage, the server checks whether the username and passwords are entered correctly or not. If the credentials are correct, then the server sends the desired data, hence the current status is success. If the credentials do not match, the server redirects you to the home page with an error message. The current status of the transactions become failure. So this is the way HTTP and HTTPS works. Okay, now about the FTP and remote login protocols. FTP stands for file transfer protocol. So this we have seen in the previous video also. These are the protocols that are used for file transfer and remote logging, and mail protocol is SMTP and POP3. So one by one we will talk about them. So let's start with the file transfer protocol. It is commonly used protocol for exchanging files over any network that support TCP/IP protocol. So this FTP also works on TCP/IP. File transfer protocol is an internet feature used to transfer files between file transfer protocol server and the file transfer protocol client. I have already explained you in the second class about the client server architecture. So this FTP works on FTP client and FTP server. Servers are the computers where resources are residing. Okay, so FTP server, it is a computer that run FTP server software. FTP server listens on the network for connection request from the other computer, and client, FTP client, is the computer that is running FTP client software. An FTP client computer initiates a connection to the server, that means request for the resource. Once connected, the customer can do number of manipulations, operations such as uploading files to the server, downloading files from the server, renaming or deleting file on the server, and so on. So you can think FTP as whenever we are uploading some file, so for that we need a protocol that we want our file to be uploaded on the FTP server. So for that one protocol is required, and if you want to download something, then you have to need a protocol that is also FTP protocol. So we are getting a file from server to our system, so that is known as downloading thing. So for uploading and downloading, FTP protocol is required. And this, for accessing internet, we are using TCP/IP protocol. So this FTP works with the TCP/IP protocol, and TCP/IP is the main protocol that is used for communication over internet or internets. Okay, so see here in the diagram, we are the user. So we interact with the client machine, and client machine is having two programs. One is control process and the second is data transfer process. So this hard disk is our hard disk, computer hard disk. So we are transferring our data to the server or from server to client. So for that control process, our control process and the server control process, they make a connection, and data transfer process also, they are making connection with each other. And like this we can send files to the server and we can download the files from the server. So this is the connection establishment diagram. So this is very important diagram. You can use it while explaining file transfer protocol. Okay, so TCP IP working is also explained here. Okay, at the sender side, that is client side, or at the server side, both sides FTP is used. SMTP, that is used in mails, and POP, this is also used in mail. So this SMTP will be used at the sender side, and this POP is used at the receiver end. Okay, so SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and it is most common protocol for transferring emails between two or more servers. It generally sends the message from a machine, client machine, to a mail server. Okay, apart from transferring mail, SMTP also provide notification regarding the incoming mails. Okay, so it works on the sender side, and outgoing mails checked by the POP. So Post Office Protocol version 3 is another commonly used email protocol. It helps to retrieve emails from remote web servers using a local client, and POP server have a unique address, that is post office, as post office are having unique address. So POP this POP mail server is also having a unique address provided by the email service provider, and it always works as receiver side. Okay.